finally finished this show. Very disappointing rewatch. It's not terrible, but it's really not that good. I don't know why I liked this show so much when I was a kid. I think I've said that once in at least all of my reviews of each season. We don't get too many cameos this season. We do have an episode where Jessie and them get robbed by this kid that pretends to be Ravi's friend. And she's played by another actor from Dog with the Blog. Except it's the little kid. And there's a scene where the second robber gets scared by a spider, which I assumed was just, to keep Jessie there longer so they could get robbed, right? Nope, that's his actual fear, because that's what they use to defeat the robbers. Is she has a spider to scare him later. So, didn't really work the way I thought it would. The first episode is about Brooks, and then they completely forget about his character. I guess they had to do a little bit more of him since he was a bit of a season 3 thing. But then after that, they're done. They're like, oh yeah, he has a girlfriend, he has a new job, he's fine. And then that's it. I swore he was in this show more. The final was very disappointing. There's a heartwarming moment that they ruined with a joke, with them all hugging in the elevator. And you would assume it would close. But no, it hits Ravi in the butt and it just keeps opening, because it won't close with Ravi in the way. And I swear that episode had the dad in it, but the dad disappears after season 2. The mother was the only reoccurring parent. They talked about Morgan, but they never showed Morgan. The last time we saw him was in the episode about how we found out that Ravi wasn't wanted. Well, it wasn't exactly that. It was that that they thought Ravi was a baby because the birth date was wrong. That was the last time we saw him, and he acted like a bit of a child in that episode. Then we never saw him again. Christina Ross showed up a few times here and there. She wasn't a huge character, but she was reoccurring. And she's in the final, but the dad is not. So I'm guessing he quit the show. There's also 2 things that I completely forgot about, and I just randomly remembered them when I wanted to do this review. And that's Ravi got a job, and they only use it for 1 episode. But they do the exact same thing they did with Emma. He gets fired and rehired, so why do we never see his job again? And Kitty Couture was like this alter ego for Emma. And it was pretty important to her. But it just kind of disappears. I'm pretty sure the last time we saw it was when she got more popular. Because it was like a whole body switching thing. And I'm pretty sure it was just another one of those weird Jessie dream episodes. Which they have a lot. Where the show will just start with this crazy plot. And then at the end of the episode we'll find out it's a dream. The only time it wasn't like that was actually this season. When there's an episode that mocks us one horror movie I can't remember the name of. And it ended up being like Stu's Party or something. But yeah, Luke and Emma switch bodies, and then Emma as Luke or whatever made the show more popular by acting like a boy and being silly and burping. And then I'm pretty sure that was the last time we saw it. But it wasn't like the show got ruined. Emma points out how the show got more popular because of it. So, kind of weird. Then Emma's friend that is here and there in that season, I think that was back in season 2, never shows up again after she, like, sacrifices herself for Emma by getting, like, popcorn or something thrown on her. I don't remember exactly what it was. And then the one person that didn't like Emma shows up for one more episode. They fight for a bit. Then she just kind of disappears too. And then there was that thing they set up with Tony that they didn't do anything with. About how he still likes Jessie. They kind of throw that in during, like, the last 2 episodes. But then they don't really do much with that. Like, he tries to tell Jessie that he still likes her, and then he sees that Brooke is ready to marry her. And then it just kind of ends there. The season was very anticlimactic. We also get a whole Rost at Sea episode thing. And the only time they're lost at sea is in the very 3rd part. The 2nd part has nothing to do with the sea. They go on an island. And it's another one of those telling a story episodes, where one of the travel guides there just tells them a story about her necklace that she wears in that episode. So, it's kind of like one of the dream episodes, but without the dream. Oh, and they're broke for a bit, and we get to see Tony's apartment again. And Mrs. Kipling is shown less and less and less through seasons. And I don't think we've seen her cage since, like, season 2. I think they just destroyed the set. Because they just don't show it anymore. When she used to get fed, she would get fed in Ravi's room. I don't even think we see Ravi's room anymore. We see Luke's room a few times. And we only saw Bertram's room once in his whole episode. Bertram leaves for a bit. They get a decent butler. He turns out to be a bit too perfect. And then that's that. There really isn't much to this season. Pretty boring. Oh yeah, and Emma has her hair purple for a little bit. I don't even remember that. Oh. I think that was when Jessie was trying to do her show or something. And they kept spraying Tony whenever he would refer to himself as Tony. No, that was when Darla came and he was supposed to pretend to be Brooks, but he kept referring to himself as Tony. So, like, around the same thing, but I got 2 episodes mixed up. And there's an episode where they go to space, but it turns out to be a dream. And then Ravi goes to space again anyway, near the end of the episode. It's very odd. That might have been last season. This episode just really wasn't that good. Well, this whole season, really, I don't really remember much about it at all. But yeah, I guess I'm done with Jessie. Fortunately and kinda unfortunately, I won't be watching Bunked because it's not on Disney Plus, which is what I watched this and a lot of my shows on. So they'll just have to wait until it's on something else. But I have started Wolverine and the X-Men, and I'm on episode 9, I think. So I should be done with that soon, maybe in a few days.